Let's get my computer up so I can see chat as we get going there. But yes. So sorry for the much later live than normal. That is completely on me. But I just got home from the gym. That is why my hair is wet, because I just took a shower. But we're here. We're having a good time. We'll have fun as more and more people start to roll in. And we'll be here for at least half an hour, because that was my promise to myself from whenever I started doing these lives till the end of the year. I will be going live here on YouTube for at least half an hour each day. And yeah, so far we're going good. The times have been a little bit inconsistent, but we're doing it. We're staying locked in, keeping the promise to myself and to you as well. So with that being said, the purpose of this live, as people are starting to roll in and show up, this is majorly here to answer tennis gear related questions, whether it be about rackets, shoes, strings, bags, anything about tennis gear at all. I'm here to help out as much as I can. And when that subsides, as it usually does, we all just kind of hang out, have fun, and just have a grand old time. So while more and more people start to roll in, if you are here, please comment. Let me know you're here so that way I can know who I'm talking to. And yeah, we'll wait for more people to show up and then we'll get started. It's going to be a great time. I can already tell. It'll be really, really fun. All right. I don't know what that is. Oh, all right. Cool, cool. All right. So, what would I say? The songs, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. Dominic, what's up? How are you doing, man? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right. Now looks like we got a few more people showing up. Kaneko, what's up? How we doing? Shad, hello. Dominic, doing all right, man. How about you? I'm doing pretty good, man. I just got back from the gym, and I worked today. Got back from the gym. Just got out of the shower. Now we're here live, helping out as much as I can with tennis. Any gear related questions, and we're just kind of going, man. That's about it. Cave Angel, hello. What's up? Twitch Meister, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Sophia, hello. Thank you for being here. Briar, hello. How are we doing? Shad, you're from Iran? That's cool, dude. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Capybara, what's up? Silver, if there's one racket I'd recommend to a 3.0 USTA player, what would it be? Silver, how long has the player been playing? And have they had tennis elbow or anything like that? Those would be my first big questions. So that way I don't give them a racket that's going to be extremely harmful to them. I'm going to assume it's either Giancarlo or Giancarlo. I'm not sure, but hello. Hinnerk or Hinnerk, hello. What's up? Mackenzie, hello. Chengdu, what brand of glasses are those? Do they help with blue light? Yes, they do help with blue light. And the brand of these is it's called THL Sleep. I've had these for a while now, and I love these things, Chengdu. They have helped me so much. I even got my sister a pair, and she suffers from extreme migraines, especially if she even looks at her phone for longer than 2 hours or something. So I got her a pair, and she says they have helped. So I'm wholeheartedly for these glasses. Sophia, what kind of live is this? Sophia, this live, if you're still here, this is me going over tennis gear questions, whether from the chat, and that way I can help out as much as possible, whether it be about rackets, strings, shoes, anything that may need help with. I'm here to help out as much as I can. And once the tennis talk eventually just kind of like goes away, because it almost always does every live, we're all just kind of hanging out, having fun, just getting to know one another and just having a good time. So yeah, that was about it. Dominic, dude, that's sick. I actually used to play tennis. Dude, that's awesome, Dominic. Maybe this live will bring you back to it. Shot, it's like 4 a.m. where you are. Dude, that's if that's what you meant, that's insane, dude. Sahen, what's up? Dante, hello. Kingston, how are we doing? Joshua, hello. Lightning, what's up? Kingston, I like and subscribe, so I like your live. Thank you, Kingston. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Let's see. Silver, only 4 years and 1 bout of tennis elbow. The tennis elbow came from the last gen's EZone 100 after friend added lead to 3 and 9. Okay. What are they playing with now, Silver? Because they may just be playing with they may already be playing with the right racket. If it is that EZone 100, that the last gen EZone 100, and the only time they had tennis elbow was when they added the weight. If that didn't really bother them beforehand, the EZone 100 would honestly just be a fine racket to continue playing with. Okay. They're using the Blade 98 V8 16x19. Okay. Yeah, so then if they're doing that, I would probably if they want to keep using the Blade and they're a 3.0 and they've had the tennis elbow before, but that was only with adding weight, then I would probably lean a little bit more towards if they want to keep the Blade, I would probably lean a little bit more towards using a softer string, kind of like a multi-filament, just so that way, of course, this is not knowing what string that they're already using, just so that way they can get a little bit of extra power from the blade, because the blade's going to help them control the power. That's just how the racket is made and design, and how it's designed to help them. Okay, they're open to switching. Cool. Then if they're open to switching, Silver, I would have them demo the Wilson Ultra 100. Wait, how old are they? Because weight-wise, how old they are, or like what weight they like may matter. But I would probably have them demo the Wilson Ultra, the Head Extreme, and then they already have the blade, so probably like the Babolat Pure Drive or 33 in male. Okay. So yeah, I'd probably have them demo the Wilson Ultra. I would probably have them demo the Head Extreme MP, the Wilson Ultra 100, and then I would probably have them demo something like the Head Speed MP. Just because those three, because since they already have the blade, they're already using a control racket. The Ultra is going to be the power racket of the 3 demos, so that way it's going to help give them the most power. The Extreme is going to be the spin racket. It's going to help them generate more topspin to see if that's what they would prefer. And then the Speed is going to be kind of right down the middle and just kind of be a very, very basic racket. It'll do everything pretty good, but it's not going to focus in any one area in particular. That way they can that way they can try a good majority of the types of rackets that are out there. And then they already have a control racket, being the Wilson Blade that they're playing with currently. So those are probably the 3 rackets I would have them demo, just not knowing anything else about them besides the fact that you said they're using the Blade 98 V8 16x19. They're a 3.0. And they're 33 in male. That's probably where I would lean to, Silver, just in order for them to try a bunch of different rackets to see what they even like and what's going to help them the best at their current stage. Hope that helps. Let's see. Chengdu, the brand of the glasses is called THL Sleep. Sophia, great. Yes. Andrew, the ceiling might fall on you one day. There's a possibility of that happening, but from what I've been told, we're good. We should be all fine. Dominic, I used to play tennis until I was playing basketball in front of a D1 basketball coach, and he said he loves how I hoop and offered me a scholarship. So yeah, I play ball now. Dominic, that's completely fair. If you got offered scholarship to play D1 basketball, I would play D1 basketball over tennis too, bro. That's insane, and congratulations on being able to do that. Hinaka, I am 24. Kingston, welcome back. Skib, what's up? Heinrich, hello again. Chengdu as well. What would you do if I'm a 31-year-old man that played tennis for many years, lost touch, but wants to come back and play in tournaments? Not high level, but decent level. Live in Spain. Okay. And you have a Babolat Pure Drive bought in 2017. Cool. So, Chengdu, if you already have a Babolat Pure Drive that you bought in 2017, then I would continue to use that Babolat Pure Drive because that racket is going to be a little bit more powerful and it's going to be a little familiar to you as well, since that's what you had been using. Now, what I would do is I would probably get it restrung, and I would get it restrung using a multi-filament string just to make it a little bit easier on your arm as you're coming back, getting your motion and getting your form correct again. It is going to kind of enhance the power of the Pure Drive, but for right now, I would say I'm probably more worried about making sure that you don't hurt your shoulder or wrist or anything as you're getting back into the game, Chengdu. So with that, for a multi-filament, I would probably start with something like Wilson Sensation or Solenko Vanquish. Those two multi-filaments tend to be quite a bit softer on the arm and not as expensive as some other ones. So I would start there with the strings at the middle of the recommended tension range for your Pure Drive 2017 specifically, because the range on that racket is 50 to 60 pounds. So if you put it right in the middle at 55, that's going to give you a balance of control and power. And then as you continue to play, you can see whether or not you want more help with power or you want more help with control from that actual testing by stringing the rackets that way. So that is probably how I would start, Chengdu, if you're getting back into it, and especially just making sure that we do this in a way that is not going to force you to get a brand new racket, because you already have one that's perfectly fine as long as it's not cracked or anything. And then we're making it work to where we're not going to potentially cause tennis elbow as much as possible. So that's what I would say, buddy. If you have any more questions, please comment them below. And I do hope that was helpful and that all made sense. Yanzito from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? Sophia, I think live is a good way to learn English because it improves your hearing and also helps you have real conversations. I like that, Sophia. I personally don't know and not like fluent, or am not currently learning another foreign language. So I hope that you hearing me speak is actually helping you understand English a little more, because I know I do tend to talk fast, but if you ever need me to slow down, please just let me know. I'm here to help. Let's see. Superdog. I do not know who those people are. Kingston. Kingston, I saw you got to go. I hope that I hope you had fun while you were here, sir. And hopefully I'll see you again on another live at some point. 1985. Hello, how am I? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good, sir. How are you? How are you doing, sir? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. 1985. You're learning English from. You've been learning English for a long time. Now you understand well. That's awesome, man. What's your original language? 1985. I'd be curious to know. Let's see. Chingdu, thanks, man. Very helpful. How to navigate to enter tournaments like challengers or club tournaments. Any websites guide me the dark tennis path. So Chingdu, since you're out in Spain, I think you said. Yeah, since you're in Spain, I have no idea what websites or what you would necessarily do out there in order to enter a tournament. I live out in the US, so I'm not as familiar. Biggest thing I would say to do is probably just go to a local tennis club or a tennis club that is close to you and ask them how you may enter a tournament, because there's potential that they already host them, and then you could probably just join one of their tournaments, or they could direct you to a website. So that's probably what I would say to do, Chingdu, just to make sure that you find the official path, since I'm not from Spain. Let's see. Sophia, no, I understand everything and you don't speak too fast. Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Sophia. Rocio, what's up? How are you? Oh, Rocio, I listened to the song. I did listen to it. And I gotta say, I did not understand a single word that Rodrigo said. No clue. None whatsoever. However, it sounded fun and it sounded like a cool song. So if I ever can find an English translation or anything, I think it would be cool. And the one listening that I actually did hear the recording of, I guess it was from a live recording session, and the crowd went absolutely wild. So I did listen to it. I told you I would, and I did. Let's see. 1985. Okay, sir. Tell me about UK English. How do I speak fast? What do you 1985, what do you mean UK English? I'm not entirely sure what that means. Lee, of course I remember you from yesterday. What's up? I did also, Lee, were you the one that recommended the other two songs by AWOL? Were you the one that recommended those, Lee? Let's see. Universe, hello. 1985, how do I speak fast? I don't know, sometimes with me, especially when I'm getting into or I'm recommending tennis gear or equipment or anything, that I can sometimes go and I can sometimes just get going, and then my mind will race faster, so then I'll just keep talking and talking and talking, because my brain is trying to get out all of the thoughts at once, just so that way it makes sure I don't like leave anything out. So sometimes I can go pretty quick, and I don't want to like overdo it to where people are like, hold on, too much, slow down, go back. So I try and rein it in, but sometimes I can just like go off on a tangent and it's not as fun. Sophia, who's my favorite singer? My favorite singer. I don't know if I have a favorite singer just like by themselves. I have a favorite band, and my favorite band is the Bee Gees. They're a big group here in about this mainly the 70s here in the US, but if you've ever heard the song Staying Alive, that was them. So they are my favorite band. Miss Tierra, hello again. How are you? Bass, do I like music? I love music, dude. Music is awesome. Rocio, you just laughing at me? Man, I try and listen to the music you suggest, and then when I tell you I do, you just laugh at me, Rocio. How? I can't believe it. Patrick, I don't know what sure is, but what's up, bro? From New Zealand. That's awesome, dude. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. 1905. While speaking my mind, do not get words and sentences. What? Do I have a UK accent? Smart? Is that what you're saying? Universe, what's exactly the purpose of this channel? Yeah. So Universe, my channel, the purpose of it is to mainly talk about tennis and just kind of, especially focusing on tennis gear and everything. That's kind of like my shtick, just because that is what I feel that I am most qualified to talk about, especially because I'm certified. Well, I got a certification for tennis rackets and tennis strings and how those all work together when you're actually playing tennis with them. So that's majorly of what my stuff is. The lives here are to answer any questions that some people may have about tennis gear or anything actually live, so that way I can help out as much as I can without them having to try and like comment on a video and then I may not see it or anything and then their question doesn't go answer their question goes unanswered. And then after that, because the tennis talk almost always subsides, we get into almost anything here. As you can see, I'm talking about music with Rocio because she's been in the lives before and she recommended a song to me to listen to. And I finally did, but didn't understand a single word of it because I don't speak whatever language it was in. I think it was supposed to be Spanish. So yeah, we just have a great time. Lee, yes. Lee, I did listen to both of the songs you recommended. I will say of the two, I think I liked I did not like Bleed, and then the other one you recommended, the very first one, I was like it was okay for me. I don't know if that was the type of music that necessarily is my favorite, but I did listen to them and thank you for recommending them. I did enjoy getting the chance to listen to new music. 1985, how this English emerged, dude. Don't ask me. I just know I speak it. Don't I could not give you the history of the English language. That is not something I ever studied or cared to know. Rocio, we have these type of music to dance in parties. Yeah, that makes sense. It sounded like when I was listening to it, it sounded like he was at a a giant stadium and a giant crowd. And as soon as what I'm assuming was an accordion kicked in and started just blasting notes as fast as it could, the crowd went wild. And I was like, "That's crazy." I was just imagining being there. I was like, "That's insane." Chingdu, thanks, man. Great tips and kindness. You won my sub, bro. Thank you, Chingdu. I appreciate it. By the way, tennis in Spain is better than the US. Cheers. Hey, now. I mean, you're technically not wrong. You do have Carlos just kind of like kicking everyone's butt. The US, we may the big thing we got is we have numbers. Like we got a lot of guys in the top like 20, the top 50. We got I think we have more guys than Spain does, but you have the big guy. So you're not wrong. You guys are kind of kicking our butts. Oscar, no clue. I have no clue about anything like that. 1985. I'm here in the US. Let's see. Trade in or trot in? What's up, bro? What's the question? Cherry, hello. Yeah, Sophia, the name of the song is Stayin' Alive. It's not staying, it's Stayin. I'm going to make sure of that right now so I don't sound like a complete buffoon if I'm wrong. Yeah, Stayin apostrophe and then the word alive. It should be the very first song that pops up because it is a very, very popular song. Fahad, hello. Let's see. Rosia, basically the song is about Rodrigo asking how could he forget the girl he met, but when we dance the song, we don't think too much about the lyrics. It's just the vibes and the rhythm of the song. Okay. I can kind of see that. Fahad, hello again. Gom, sing Ted Nugent, Fred Bear. I don't know what that is, bro. Fahad's from Pakistan. That's cool. Nice. Roberto. Yeah, Roberto. Hi. I'm Roberto from Chile. First, I want to congratulate you on your content. Thank you, Roberto. I appreciate it. Second, I'd like to ask for your help. I've been playing tennis for 2 years with the Pure Aero 98 without any problems. I used the RF01 Pro for a month and I injured my elbow on my one-handed backhand. I tried going back to the Aero, but now it hurts. I can play with the Clash without pain. But I hate it. I use Tourline, or I'm going to assume that's O-Toro plus Wasabi X at 22 kilos. I was thinking of using the EZone 98 with braided line. I have a spool of Wilson XT. What recommendation can you give me? Okay, so Roberto, if you've been playing with the Pure 98, you got injured using the RF01 Pro for a month, and you injured your elbow on your one-handed backhand. So you can play with the Clash without pain, but you hate it. Okay, gotcha. Biggest thing is that if you're going to keep playing, which it sounds like you probably are, then there's kind of two options I think we can take here. The big thing I would say is it probably would just be best for you to like rest and recover for a while and then not necessarily play for a bit just so that way your body can recover. However, if we don't want to do that, then we can probably work around some things. So, number one is going to be that we're most likely going to have to change the strings. The fact that you have a spool of Wilson NXT, that is helpful because that's probably the string that I would say for you to put into your racket because that is going to be much easier on your elbow, and also much easier on your wrist. So that's going to help to kind of alleviate some of the pain you would feel from playing. Now you can put that in your Pure Aero 98 and then maybe like bump the tension up slightly because you're using a multi-filament now, which is softer than both of the Tourmaline strings you were using before. Or you can keep it the same and that way you can just see how the NXT does in the racket itself without changing anything else, because that way you're only changing one variable right now. If you try using the Pure Aero 98 and then with the Wilson NXT and that doesn't work, you still feel the pain or anything, then I would probably say it is a very, very good idea to just rest and recover and kind of take off from playing tennis for a little bit while you are in this recovery phase. If you're not going to do that, again, which that's usually the option I'd say is probably going to be the easiest. If you're not going to do that, then you're probably going to have to be playing with the Clash for a while, because we're just trying to make sure that you are recovered. And then as soon as you're recovered, you go right back to the Pure Aero 98. But the big thing is either taking time off in order to heal, or you're probably going to have to start experimenting with that NXT that you have. The E-Zone that you mentioned, I would say you could do it, but depending upon what generation of the E-Zone it is, and I'm not necessarily sure what you meant by braided line. If you could explain that, that might help me as well. But if the E-Zone is the new one that came out this year, the Gen 8, you may be able to get away with using that because it's a little bit better at reducing the shock and vibration before it gets back to you. E-Zone V8, yeah. So that's a little bit better at reducing the shock and vibration before it gets back to you. So you could do that, but I would say probably just to try your Pure Aero 98 first, because before you got injured that wasn't causing you any issues. So I would probably lean towards using that one first with the NXT in it if you decide you don't want to just take some time off. That would be probably how I would go about it. And yeah, you would just kind of have to choose whether or not you want to take the time off to recover, or if you're still going to attempt to play, whether or not you want to use the Pure Aero 98 with the NXT, or if you just want to stay with the Clash for the entire time and just kind of like power through the suck part as you're recovering. I would say of those three options, the Pure Aero 98 one has probably the higher chance to potentially cause the injury to just like flare up again because you're still using a stiffer racket. The Clash is going to be like kind of the middle option because you're still playing on it, but the Clash is going to be easier on your arm. And then recovering is probably going to be best option, just so that way you can come back in full strength. So those are kind of the three paths I see for you, Roberto, and now it's just kind of up to you as to which one you would prefer to do. And if you've commented since I started talking and since I've laid out the three paths, then when I get down to it, I will look at your comments and come back to it. Hope that helped. Let's see, JA, do I want any plants for my room? No. I will not want to take care of it, and there is not enough sunlight that gets into this room to warrant having a plant. Sophia, okay, thanks, of course. Rocio, hold on, where did it go? Rocio, from the US, I like country music, like bluegrass type of music. Okay. Then. Okay. Is this considered bluegrass? Hold on. I'm getting some bluegrass inspiration just to see like what just to remind myself. Let's see. Earl Scruggs. Okay. Hold on. Popular. Yeah. Tyler Childers is bluegrass music? Interesting. Rocio, I may have to look into bluegrass because I feel like I do know some, and I feel like there's some that I think you may find interesting or fun if you would want to listen to it, but I would have to find it. I don't know it off the top of my head. Yashasvi, what's up? How are we doing? I'm doing good. The real boy, what's up? Alessandro, ciao, hello from Venice, Italy. That's cool. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Sophia, okay, now I have to go to college, so I'm going to get ready. We'll meet next time. All right, Sophia, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Good luck with your day at college. Have fun, learn a lot, and yeah. Let's see. Zarvet? Is the Blade 100 VA considered to be soft on the arm? I also have some elbow tenderness. I'm wondering if I should stick with Clash, which I find kind of launchy. So Zarvet. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to say that correctly. But if you have the Clash already, and you have some of that tenderness or like pain in your elbow, I would just stick with the Clash for right now until that goes away. And the one good thing about the Clash is the fact that even if you put a polyester string in there, it is still going to be probably easier on your arm than the Blade 100 is. So I would just stick with the Clash for right now. And if you feel it's kind of launchy, if you are not using a polyester, you may be able to get away with it, depending upon what polyester you pick. And if you tell me what string you're using with what your tension is, then I can probably like help recommend one. But yeah, I would say to probably just like stick with the Clash for right now. Let's see, Lee, you have another song. It's Russian. It's called My Marmalade. Okay. I have it written down, Lee. Beerish? Hello? Alan, I'm sorry, I have no idea what in the world that says. Doorbell. Roberto, EZO 98, braided line equals... Oh, it's a multi. Okay, cool. Is that... We're using a translator, Roberto? Okay. Thank you. Roberto, thank you for the donation. I greatly appreciate that. It means the world to me. And thank you so much, dude. That's amazing. Rocio, what kind of music do I like to listen? Do I like to dance to in parties? I don't know. I don't know, girl. I don't really go to many like parties or places where I dance. I don't know. Your basic like white people dances. You got the Cupid Shuffle. You got hold on, what is it? Cotton Eye Joe, if you want to do a line dance. But yeah. I don't know. your basic white people dances. Oh, there's another one. This one isn't basic white people dancing, but I absolutely just love and adore doing the. Thank you, whoever said cha cha slide. I just saw that. Um, another one is to the song Apache from the Sugar Hill Gang. I saw the one episode, or like I saw the meme of what they did on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and how they danced to that. So I just copied it, and everyone that I know can't believe that I move my hips like that, and it surprises them every time. But I think it's absolutely hilarious. So that was probably a fun one. Not Yo Man. Are those prescription glasses? If so, what are they called? So these are not prescription glasses. I do have glasses that have a prescription in them, but these do not. These are just blue light blocking glasses, so that way I can look at my phone and I can look at my computer, and the blue light from them does not get into my eyes, so that way I can go to sleep and it'll extremely fast and not have to worry about anything like that. Papa, I don't know. Are you calling me Tron? Tony, what's up, bro? Not Yo Man. Oi, what's the name of the color or type of your glasses? The name of my glasses, Not Yo Man, is the brand for them is called THL Sleep. That is the name of the brand that makes these glasses. Pammy, hello, or Pommy. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. Tony, I used the Clash when they first came out. It was okay. I could play decently with it, but I don't like the newer version. I prefer the old. Yeah, that if you like the older version, if you like the older versions, like if you liked the Gen 1 or the Gen 1 of the Clash, Tony, then Gen 3, the new one, it's similar. It's still not the same though, so it makes sense. Once you get past a certain point though, once you get past a certain point with the Clash, especially when the people are hitting the ball a lot harder back at you, the Clash to me, because of how flexible it is, it just doesn't hold up. Like I just feel like it's not stable enough because it's flexing too much. And that's where eventually, like I had a friend when he was in high school, he played with the Clash Pro, the original one, Tony, and he loved the thing, but exactly what I said happened. He started playing varsity high school tennis, and the other guys were hitting the ball so much harder at him, he just couldn't control it. So then he had to move into the Blade 98 16x19 because that's what he demoed and liked. And he never looked back because he was able to, the racket being stiffer, it was able to be more stable, more solid for him as he was swinging, and it just ended up working out better. So the Clash does well for what it's designed to do, but once you start getting into the higher levels, then it starts to taper off in my experience. Let's see. Rocio, I also like country music from the 70s or 80s, like Creedence Clearwater Vinyl or Dolly Parton. Okay. I love now we're starting to get more into the wheelhouse of what I know, Rocio. We're starting to get there. I like this. Anderson, I'm going to assume you asked how am I doing. I'm doing good. I'm sorry I don't necessarily speak Spanish, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Zarvet, thanks. I have Luxon Element at 46 pounds in the Clash. I might try the Element Soft IR or even a multi-poly hybrid for a little more softness. Czar, if you're using if you're using Element at 46 pounds, the big thing, honestly, is you probably just need to increase your tension because you're saying it's feeling flighty. Usually with polyesters, and other rackets, you usually don't want to go too much higher with what you're used to. But if you're feeling the clash is giving you too much power, then I would probably go, if you're using element, I would probably like tighten it from 46 to maybe like 48 or even 50 pounds, because the racket itself is already going to give you the flexibility and give you the just like arm friendliness. So by tightening element, especially with element being a softer poly and being already in a very soft racket, that might be the combo you need without having to change to a completely different setup like the hybrid that you were mentioning. So I would probably start there first just to see how that does. And then if you still want to try something else after you tighten the tension a little bit, then I would be like, yeah, let's switch to something else and just kind of go from there. As long as that makes sense, Zarvet. Yeah. CCV, the cha-cha slide, exactly. Tony, I cannot dance at all. Great footwork in basketball and tennis, but cannot dance. Tony, if you can have good footwork in tennis and basketball, I'm pretty sure once you learn the basic moves, I think you'd be able to figure it out. I have faith in you, Tony. I think you could figure it out, because I will say, when I was doing musicals, especially in high school, and I had to do a lot of dancing, getting the footwork, as soon as like I learned how to do it, it did come a little bit easier, just because playing tennis. We are a little bit somewhat athletic. So as long as you learn how to do the steps, I think you could do it, Tony. Barthol, Mr. Daredevil. Okay. Not necessarily sure what that means. Cotton, what's up, buddy? Rocio, from my country, I like to dance to disco or techno music and also jazz. Basically, I like any kind of music you can dance to. Rocio, if you like disco, then you'll probably like most of the song. I won't say most, but you'll probably like some of the songs from the band I was talking about earlier, the Bee Gees. There's a whole their whole like big heyday was disco, and so they may be one to listen to. They're usually, I find them very fun. One song I would say is Staying Alive's fun. I don't necessarily know if that's one to dance to, but they quite literally have a song called "You Should Be Dancing." So, and that's a disco song, so you could listen to that one. Another famous dance disco song they have is "More Than a Woman." If you've ever heard or seen of the movie Saturday Night Fever, I've never seen it, but I know it's a Bee Gees movie because of the music. Then I think that's the song they do like the big main dance in that movie too. So those would be some disco songs, Rocio, that you may like if you've never heard them before. Tony, I understand what you say about the Clash. Yeah, man. Uh, Gaming, is Sabalenka the best for me? And do I think Raducanu would get better? Uh, I don't know, dude. Sabalenka is very, very good. Like, her record is speaking for her. I don't know if I don't know. I'd have to look at the stats to see who is considered the best, so that way I could say who I consider the best. I don't know the WTA statistics off the top of my head. And that, do I think Raducanu, is it would or could get better? Because I believe anyone can get better. I don't think that anyone is like forced to stay stuck where they are. So not sure, dude. Angelina, tips for high school finals. Um, I am probably not the one to ask, just because I really never. I really never studied for my finals. That especially in high school, that was just me. That was just me. Like I didn't ever care for it. Most of my finals really were kind of just like projects or anything. So if you have a majority of projects, Angelina, the one thing I did, or at least one thing I probably should have done, is if you get like a free day or anything, just knock out as much as you can. Just like focus on one of them specifically, like one of the projects, and just focus on that for like an entire like 4 hour period. Just do honestly just do like 4 hours of work towards any of it. Like set a timer, not on your phone or anything, but like set a maybe even a kitchen timer for set it to like 4 hours, and just every single time you look away from the timer, just like pause it, and then when you get back to work, start the timer again, and then that way you can just like keep going, and you can actually just like do deep focused work to make sure that your final, if it's a project, is everything that you want it to be. You could also do the same thing for studying too, but but you have to just kind of like adjust to where you're at and anything, and with what's going on for you. But that would probably be what I would say. Like I said, I never actually studied for finals when I was in high school, just because I never really had too many that I had to study for. Alexander, what's up, brother? How are we doing? Marilyn, hello. Let's see. User, hello. Cotton Staying Alive was a song used during CPR training in my school. It was for me. It was for me too, Cotton. It's just the beat that they used. I think it's a ironic that they used the song called "Staying Alive" for CPR training. But yeah, that's crazy. Rocio, yes, you know the Bee Gees. They have very known songs. All right, cool, nice. Anything anything else like disco, country? Um, Credence. Yeah, very nice. Let's see. Alexander. Let's see. Tennis JTT Sunday game canceled in San Diego. We're heading to play the kids at Surf and Turf Academy, the Matt Jones kids, I believe. Well, we got another day to train after the rain for next Sunday. Hey, Alexander. That's okay. If it gets canceled, that's okay. Like you said, you can train, and then you can just have a good time. You can just have a good time and prep for the next match. Let's see. John, there's no notion, there's no emotion. He's got no future. He's just a loser. That's a line from a song I heard and it's stuck in my head. John, how did that? What even is that song? What even is that song? I've never. I don't think I've ever heard that line before. What's it from? Lulk. First time a very informative person and man who really something to my relevance matter. I'm not entirely sure what that means, Lulk, but I think it's a compliment, so I'm going to take it. So thank you. Hold on. Rhea, I have no idea what that means. Lol, good info. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alexander, Would you guys suggest we train during a rain day? Today we played ping pong in the house just to activate the brain. I mean, ping pong's fun, dude. Ping pong's fun. I enjoy it. But if you got a rain day, I don't know. Have them do like, I don't know. Maybe have them do a few push-ups just to like, I don't know, build up their chest muscles or something. Maybe. I don't know. Most tennis players, we tend to stay like very small and skinny framed, but a little more muscle and a little more power never hurt anyone. John's called Not Anywhere by Alex G. Interesting. I may look into it. Rasia, there's another techno song from the 90s called Pump Up the Jam. Ah, yes, Pump Up the Jam. I know of that one. Pump Up the Jam. Oh, and then I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to get copyrighted. But yes, I do know what that is. Do I feel like I feel like there's something in my playlist that is specifically like dance music, and it's I don't remember what it is. I don't know. I wasn't listening to dance music when I was at the gym. Sometimes I do, but I was not tonight. So I cannot remember what it would be off the top of my head. Alex, they're watching The Little Rascals now. Kids didn't want to watch it. Now they're watching, laughing 5 minutes in. You've definitely thought of push-ups and dips later on. Start with push-ups. Yeah, I mean if you're going to want them to train, push-up. I think push-ups would be fine. What else? Yeah. That's what I would think. Rosia or Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. Okay, that one's kind of coming out of like left field because I wouldn't necessarily consider that dance music. I would just consider that's just Queen. Like Queen is just Queen. Great band, like Freddie Mercury, amazing singer. I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, fun movie. I enjoyed it. Did not necessarily enjoy what was happening around me when I was watching the movie, but it was a great movie nonetheless. But yeah, Queen is fun. I enjoy Queen. Who else? Trying to think of songs that would be similar. Rosia, how much have you listened to how much have you ever heard of a band called Wham with George Michael as the lead singer? Well, people only talking crap, but you are really giving some good info. May I ask how to stick to my routine? I cannot consistent in my goal. Please guide me, sir. Lulk, big big thing that has started to help me just because I've also struggled with that exact same thing. It's just like sticking to something and I have to actively like work on it and catch myself all of the time because I know that if I let myself slip a little bit, I'm just going to like backslide into everything and it's not going to be good. One of the ways that has helped me is actually just like tying what I need to stick to a much bigger goal. So like whatever your goal is right now, think of that like times 10 and in my mind, I do it to be like, okay, if I want to achieve this goal, then I need to automatically do this right away, and I just need to do that consistently. So sometimes that helps, and another, and then I just kind of like go through that exercise. Sometimes too, it's also just like knowing where it's a lot of it is getting clear on where you want to go and what you want to do for you specifically that doesn't have any influence from other people. And as soon as you have an idea with that, it's all about just taking one step at a time. So find the smallest, for me, find the smallest thing that you can do in order to start moving you towards that, and just do that one little thing consistently. Like for me, for example, my thing is I have found that since I have started YouTube, there have been times where I have found it is very hard for me to consistently post here on YouTube. So my big thing was I made the commitment to myself, and I also made it public here because this is YouTube, this is social media. I made it public and that I will be live streaming for at least half an hour every day in for the rest of the year. Like I have said that on these lives before. Rocio can fact check me because she's heard me say it since she's been here before, which I do appreciate. And by also putting that out into the world and just kind of like saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do, you kind of give yourself that little like, oh, I said that, I kind of need to do it now. So you just gotta like find, in my experience, Lolk, you just have to find one thing that's small, but you know is going to start moving you towards where you want to go, and then just hammer it, dude. Make it a non-negotiable. It's like, no matter what, this gets done. And then by doing that small little thing, you start to trust yourself more and more, and then you can just eventually move that into bigger things, and you just start having momentum on your side, and everything starts snowballing in the way you want it to. So that's what I would say, Log, especially if you're having trouble with consistency. It's tough, especially if you're doing it alone, but we're always here. I'm always here for you if you need help. Please jump on one of the lives. We'll get through this together, buddy. Alexander, I do push-ups and dips and hit way harder as a beginner than all these homies that are playing tennis. So it's true. These skinny fools can't hang. I'm just a grinder and pusher. Hey man, you play tennis however you play tennis. That doesn't matter. Your opponent has to react to it and play. I actually know someone, they quite literally call their style of tennis junkyard tennis because they're like, it doesn't look pretty, but it works. And I was like, hey, that's all we needed to do. Sophie, hello. Rocio, yes, you know George Michael. Wake Me Up Before You Go, of course. And then Footloose is another one I have in my place. Footloose is fun. I do like Footloose. I like the song. I haven't watched the movie or anything, as you could probably guess. But Footloose, the song is fun. Rocio, kind of the same guy who sang Footloose. Have you heard the song I'm All Right by Kenny Loggins? That one's fun. It's not as much, I wouldn't say it's as much of a dance, but it's the same guy, so you may also like that song from him. So that one may be a good time. Alexander, hey guys, you guys should check out Midori Castillo. Just made pro debut in Mexico and made WTA. Hope she makes it to the main stage. New family friend. Can't believe I'm totally in the mix playing in parks. Nice. Very cool, Alexander. I'll check her out right now. Midori Castillo. Let's see. No, not AI. Castillo Meza. Okay. Sure. Oh wow, she did. She's currently ranked, at least in singles, 1,134. She's won 16, lost 11, and she's made 57.85 in prize money. Not bad, especially if she just went pro this year. She's 21 years old. Nice, very cool. Let's see. I'm not sure if I know that song, but I'll check it out. Nice. Yeah, I like that one. Like in the very beginning of it, it starts off fine, but then like I won't even like 30 seconds into it, Kenny just lets out a yell of a note, and I'm just like, yeah, this is good. This is fun. So I think you might enjoy it if you like Footloose, Rocio. So definitely let me know what you think. Dominic, what's up? Welcome back, bro. I appreciate you coming back. Log, you're right. Start with small, slowly progress each day. Thanks a lot. Please suggest top three books for self improvement. Ooh, okay, okay. Just like self improvement in general, or like what are we talking? What are we talking about here? Like what are we trying to solve for, Log? Because that's kind of I have like a library sitting behind the camera. I have like my own little library. They're all in boxes because I don't have a bookshelf anymore. But yeah, what kind of self improvement we talking about? Like what are we trying to focus on? Because that would change and like depend on what book I necessarily give you. Okay. Cool. Come on, Log. Don't leave me hanging, bro. Okay, I like to achieve my goal in technical field and in the professional field, self-discipline. Okay. So, if we're going the discipline route, one book I would say Log is going to be, and these are in like no particular order of ones you like need to read or anything, but kind of the idea that I gave you talking, that was partially taken from the book called Atomic Habits. That's probably the first one. It's all about forming new habits and how to actually just kind of like implement them. So that would be one. Number two is probably Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. That one I've read, and I actually have that book. I got it signed by Jocko himself when I got to meet him one time. So that one was fun, or that one was interesting because it shows how the discipline that is instilled into the military can be used to achieve your goals based off of how they go through missions, and it has a bunch of different like stories from all different stories from Jocko's experience and his writing partner's experience. So those were interesting. And then third, if I have to pick a third, uh, hmm. can't see any of them right now. But I would say probably just start with those two, mainly because A, I can't think of a third right now, and B, because you don't the big thing with like self-help and self-improvement too is you try and get so much information and everything to where like you ask for 3 books, but if I give you 3 books and you get all 3 of them and you like read part of this one, part of this one, part of this one, and you don't actually do anything, doesn't matter because you didn't do anything. You're just reading to read and you're not actually like changing anything. So I would probably pick one of the books, Lulk, from the first two, Atomic Habits or Extreme Ownership. Pick one and then just read that book, implement stuff from that book, maybe even read it again because you've probably missed something just doing the first reading. And then after you have implemented a good majority, if not almost everything from the first book, then move on to the next one. So that's what I would probably say. Yeah. Start with one of those two, implement, and then once you are consistent, you're implementing, then you go from there. Hope that helps, buddy. LA, what did I come across? We nerding out right now. Yeah, we kind of nerding out. We were nerding out because Lulk asked me about book recommendations for self-improvement and self-help, and I was like, all right, I can help with this. I just need to know what way we're going because I do enjoy self-improvement as well. It is a very fun time. And sick glasses, bro. Thanks. I appreciate it. AK, hello, bro. Are you colorblind? I am not colorblind, actually. The glasses here are blue light blocking glasses, so that way I can, after looking at my phone and looking at my computer, I can wear these for hours, go to bed, and get plenty of great sleep and not feel absolutely dragging in the morning. So that is what the glasses are for. Lol. Joni, what's up? Lulk, I heard about Atomic Habits. I will get it. Nice. That's usually a good one to start with, Lulk, just because it is quite literally about creating and implementing new habits into your life. And they start small too, like I mentioned to you. So that is where it's just going to be a very easy, like step-by-step process in the book. So do the actual instructions as you go through it, and you should probably have a much easier time in terms of actually implementing and moving towards where you want to go. Joni, what's up? AK, I answered you. Alexander, I'm reading Les Mis by Victor Hugo, 1850, the book. Interesting. See, I've never read the book, and me being a fan of musicals, I've never even seen the musical of Les Mis, but I know about Les Mis. I've just never like dove into it. Carvana, hello. Thank you for being here. Welcome back. I know you've been here before. I appreciate you coming back. Lulk, in detail you have explained. Wow, respect, sir. Of course, Lulk. I'm happy to help out as much as I can. Justin, is that a load-bearing wall behind me? I don't know. I have no clue, dude. You top Justin, I have no idea what your second comment even says or means. Like, what are you talking about? Kyle, Timu, Scott Summers. I don't know who Scott Summers is, so I don't know. Hopefully it's a better comparison than Timu Ed Sheeran. I got that one last night and I was just like, how do I look like Timu Ed Sheeran? I'm not even ginger. Rosia, I just listened to the song you mentioned. I really like the singer's voice. Yeah, if you liked Footloose, then you probably just like Kenny Loggins because that is his voice. He's the one singing, and he just has a lot of good music. Actually, I'm not gonna say that because I think I've only actually listened to Footloose and I'm All Right from Kenny Loggins. So I take that back just because I haven't listened to enough of his music. But he does have, of the songs I've heard, they are pretty good. Glad you liked it, Rocio. Carson, cool glasses, thank you. Carvana, you just subscribed, thank you. I appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Alexander, have I heard of Angelica Gavaldon? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. The Mexican tennis player. I have not, sir. I honestly have not heard of her. Let's see. Justin, your top room? Are you talking about my ceiling? Because if you are, Justin, then yes. It looks bad, I know. But it still works. So we're fine. Yeah, you're talking about the ceiling. Yeah. The ceiling always gets mentioned anytime I do like a live in here or anything, but yeah. We're fine. It's okay. Cotton, last coaching session, there's two newbie players with pro staff and Pure Arrow who kept talking about tennis gear, drove me nuts. They kept talking about needing better gear to improve their game. Oh no. Oh no, Cotton. Why was a newbie using a pro staff? No. Like, buddy, the ball keeps going outside the fence because you're punting the ball with your racket. You need to improve your skill, not your gear. Yeah. Yeah. They'll learn, Cotton. They'll learn that it just comes with experience instead of the gear. The gear can help, but it only goes so far based off the player's ability. Lolk, what's your time for online? I would love to be with you each day, 15 minutes. What's your time, sir? Lolk, what do you mean, what's my time? Like, do I charge people money for my time online? Is that what you're asking? And like, how much would it be? I want to make sure I'm understanding the question. Justin, yes, it is bad, very bad. Yes, I'm aware the ceiling is bad, Justin. Elijah Brody, have you done the thing before I subscribe? Elijah, probably not, because I don't know what you're talking about. Tugs, hello. Log, yes. Log, I do not do like I don't have like or do like a private coaching thing. So I mean, these live streams are essentially like the closest thing to me being live to where we would interact currently. I have potentially thought about doing it to where like with the tennis gear, I've potentially thought about doing it to where I just block off a few hours a day and just have that be like for racket consultations, just to see how just so that way I can help people if they need it, and we can be like face to face over Zoom. Because doing them here in the live chat, I can help to a point, but actually having the conversation face to face, it is a little bit better just because we can talk a little bit more freely, and we don't have all the other chats to where I might miss something. But that would be about it. Tanish or Tanish? I'm going to assume Tanish. Hello. Alex, I got no topspin. Do you think dropping my racket toward the floor and pulling it back, being prepared before the ball goes over the net, will improve my no topspin forehand? Alex, because I don't know your form, I can't really say anything about that. I'm also not a playing coaching professional. I'm just more the equipment side. But I would say, yeah, since I don't know your form and I don't know like how you play, I can't really answer that. I can't answer that and give you a good answer because there's too many variables I wouldn't be sure of to know whether or not that would actually help you. And I don't want to tell you something wrong to where you do implement it and then it ends up actually hurting you more than it does helping you. So I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. 3AV, pay me like one of your Frenchies. I don't know what that means. Tanish, did you know that Apple releases new product named the iPhone Pocket? It's like a bag to keep the iPhone. I saw it at the Apple official website. Yes, I did actually see something about that. I heard about it, or I saw like a ad for it, and I kind of thought it was stupid because I'm like, why does your phone need a pocket? I don't understand. I think Apple's just trying to get more money from people. I don't get it. Let's see. Justin, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, bro. Lol, when you live online as per your country time, that's what I want to know. Lol, my time zone is Eastern Standard Time. So when I do my lives, it is almost always after 8 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is traditionally when I have been doing these. It'll either start around there or it'll be later. Like tonight was later. I started at about 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it's usually within that time frame just because during the day I'm either at work or I am doing something else. But yeah, that would be about it, sir. Con, no. No one has ever said that. Elijah, mate, firstly, that's rude, bro. I asked the last time you were on the stream, but fine. Have you tried any of the new gear coming out from Wilson? You mentioned you're invited to a pro tennis event. No. I have not tried any of the new gear from Wilson, Elijah. That I don't think they're gonna let me anywhere near or anything like that. I'm so sorry for forgetting. That is on me. But no, I have not tried anything new from Wilson or anything. I've heard about it, but I'd be curious to see what it was. Let's see. Krestik, Felix won one game tomorrow versus Agres. I don't know. Felix has been playing pretty well so far. He might do well. I'm not sure though. What is this? Licks. Thanks, bro. Elijah, just curious, what's the rate here that I'm charging? $115 for a 45-minute session and giving advice to a low, medium tier without seeing the form of the individual is wild. Maybe drop the price a bit. What are you talking about, Elijah? This is free. No one's being charged here for anything. Shivani, what's up, bro? Where am I from? I'm from the US, bro. Where are you from? Alexander, that's right. Good answer. Got to see what I'm not doing well. Yeah, I'm not a miracle worker. I can't necessarily fix form or anything online without seeing someone in person. That's maybe the work of a miracle worker or just like a much better like actual playing performance coach. Let's see. Baba Booey, do you hide the tennis gear in your drop ceiling? I mean, I probably could. It may not be a bad idea, but I also just don't want to touch the ceiling. Adam, what's up with your ceiling? We are concerned. The ceiling is just old, dude. That is it. It is old and decrepit, but it still works. It's fine. Let's see. Rocio, here in Argentina, we have a lot of rock and blues bands, but with lyrics in Spanish. If you want to listen to one of them, you can search for La Bifurcada. Okay, I'm writing that one down. La Bifurcada by Memphis. La Bluesera. Okay, I have that one written down, Rocio. I will look into it. Alexander, my clique is having a red ball tennis event and tamales at Fall Brewery in Miramar, San Diego, November 22nd. If anyone was in San Diego making a fundraiser, selling shirt to spread the word. Nice, Alexander. Very cool. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Phoenix. What's up, dude? Do you think you can give me some advice? Don't worry, it's nothing deep. Potentially. What's going on? Adam, how about a visit to Home Depot or Lowe's this weekend? Ceiling tiles. I have to work this weekend, bro. So probably not for me. Elijah, do I have any advice for someone that's not so good on the forehand but looking to improve stability and percentage rate to keep the ball in play a little more than my current 64.6% rate? Potentially, but it would probably just Elijah, what do you think is the big hindrance right now in terms of why your stability is kind of lacking? Because you can change up some things with the racket to give you a little bit more stability, but I would kind of need to know like where you think the instability is coming from, just to see if that would even help. Let's see. Phoenix. I have an audition, but I don't really know the music that well. Mock auditions tomorrow, but it's late. So do I keep practicing? Do I go to sleep and tough it out? Phoenix, with that, what do you mean? What is a mock audition? Like you're fake auditioning and you don't act, and it's not the actual audition yet? Because if it's a mock audition, and I'm assuming it's a fake one, like you're just doing a brief run through, and it's not the actual audition, If that is the case, but I would need you to confirm before I can like really say much of anything. But what I would do for an audition, if it's a mock audition, so like you get this one and then you get another try because you do the actual audition. For right now, I would probably just go to sleep and make sure you're well rested. Like look over the music again in the morning after you've been able to get a good night's sleep. You're refreshed, you're ready. You can just like really drill into it. You go to the audition. It's probably going to be rough because it's the mock one, and if it's a mock audition, I'm assuming that's why it's there. And then after that, if you really want to work well with the audition itself and the music, then until the audition, you spend a inabsorbent amount of time. So like way more than you probably think you should. I'm talking about like hours a day, just like drilling the music as long as it's comfortable and okay for your voice. Cause I know some audition songs and just some songs in general can like absolutely be a killer to you. But I would just be practicing that thing for hours until like you repeat the song so many times that that you don't even have to think about it. By the time that you get done practicing, you're bored of the song itself. And that's when you know it's starting to click that you're actually just like, okay, I got this memorized and my voice knows all the jumps and all the pitches to actually get to. But if you actually have the audition, like the mock audition is the actual audition, I'd probably still say maybe look over it a time or two more, but go to bed, get some sleep, and just like do your best, bro. That's probably what I would say. Jonathan, okay. Lol. Nowadays, I see so many live streamers only talking crap, but this is the first time I see a person giving quality info. Okay, sir. Bye. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Lolk. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate you being here. Glad that I was able to help out. Elijah, my forehand suffers and I'm working on arm strength in general. Okay. But actually also hitting the gym too. Any advice for ways to improve my forehand strength would be excellent. Thanks. Elijah, if you're already going to the gym, that's going to help just because you're getting the actual just like you're starting to build more and more of the muscles, so that helps. Excuse me. One thing if your forehand because your forehand is suffering, one thing you could do is you could put lead tape on your racket, and so I don't have a racket near me. Do I? Hold on. No, I don't have a racket near me. So, Elijah, if you think about your tennis racket face as a clock, there's 12 o'clock right at the top of it. There's 6, and then there's 3 and 9, depending upon which way you look at it. But if you go and put lead tape at the 10 o'clock and the 2 o'clock position, so like put, say, 1 gram of lead tape here, 1 gram of lead tape on this side, if you put it there, that's going to help give you a little bit more stability and a little bit more power because you're going to increase the swing weight by a little bit of your current racket on both your forehand, your backhand, and just kind of everything. So while you're building your arm strength in the gym as well, the adding the lead tape to the actual racket itself may also help with that too, just to make the racket more stable regardless. And then the added strength you get from the gym is just going to kind of like further increase that. So that may be something to look into as you're getting into the gym, as you're getting a little bit stronger, if you want the racket itself to be a little bit more stable as well. If you want to go even more stable than that and not really change very much how the racket's going to swing, then I would just put the weight at 3 and 9 instead of 10 and 2. Because the closer you get to the top at 12, that's where you're going to start noticing a lot more difference in how fast the racket swings through the air. But the closer you are to the middle and the 2 middle sides, that's where you're going to get more stability out of the frame by adding weight. So that's probably what I would say, but keep hitting the gym. That's going to help too. and that should start to help you gain a little bit more consistency, I would assume. Cod, not gonna lie, Brody, your ceiling looks like it's made of asbestos. Our concern is valid. Yes, the concerns are valid, and I appreciate the concerns, but it's not asbestos. It's just old, and yes, it is just old. We're good. Probably, I'm built like a candy cane, and my form is like David Hasselhoff eating a cheeseburger off the floor. What can I do to get better? Bro, I have no idea what in the world David Hasselhoff eating a cheeseburger off the floor means. So, I have no clue, Baba Booey. Trusty, what do I think is the best-selling head racket? Goodbye. Let's see. Let's see. What is it? What do I think is the best-selling head racket? Right now, the best-selling head racket is probably. Hold on. The best-selling head racket, I think, is the Head Speed line of rackets. I don't necessarily know which exact version would be the best, but I'd say the Head Speed is probably the one that has sold the most, especially just because, not just because, but mainly because of Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic. Those two championing that line, that is probably the two of the biggest names in tennis that will probably play the game of tennis. So I'd say for right now, the Head Speed line is probably the most sold, and probably the most sold out of all of them. That would be my guess. Yes, grammar is key. Constricted. Do I like broccoli? I've never had broccoli, so couldn't tell you. Let's see. Rocio, I'm going to sleep now. Have a good night. Rocio, have a good night as well. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. And if you can think of any other music or anything like that, please let me know next time. Trusty Pigeon, hello. Currently using a Gravity MP. If I were to get a Radical MP, would it be an easy transition? Not in the beginning, just because the Gravity MP is a 100 square inch head size and a 16 by 20. The Gravity MP is the 100 16 by 20. The Radical MP is a 98 16 by 19. So you would have to get adjusted to the smaller head size and the more open string pattern. So mainly it's just going to be like making sure that you figure out the new timing, and the Radical is also going to be a little bit stiffer too, so it's going to be a little bit more powerful from that. So your arm would have an adjustment period. It's not going to take forever just because it's a head racket, so you're already familiar with it, Pigeon, but it's still going to take you a bit. I would at least see if you could demo the Radical first to see if you even like how it plays before you officially commit to making a switch, though. Alexander, best budget-friendly overgrip deal and brands. Your belief is it's Tourna. I personally, overgrip wise, I personally have never been a big fan of Tourna grip. I just don't need a grip that absorbs a lot of sweat, because that my hands specifically don't sweat a lot when I play, so I've never needed to use it. I know people that do use it, they absolutely love it. It's just never been something for me. I've always had great success with the Yonex Super Grap, or what they now call the Wet Grap, or the Wet Super Grap. So I've always liked that one. But I recently tried the Diadem like Pro Feel over grip, and I was very pleasantly surprised with how that did. So I liked that one a lot more than I thought I would. So that one to me is a good. That one to me tends to feel and play very well, Alexander. So I like that one, but I would say Yonex overgrips have always been like one of the big ones for me. And then second up was probably like Gamma Supremes. I just grew up using those in high school, so they are a little bit thicker, but they've always done well for me personally. Alexander, my kid uses the radical, and we all believe it's the radical who gets the winners, broskies. All right. Let's see. Phoenix, the mock audition is a fake audition that my lesson teacher set up to prepare his students and myself. And after that, I have about a week and a half before the real audition. I play a brass instrument. Oh, okay. So if you're doing an instrument audition, yeah, I would say tomorrow. I would say tomorrow, Phoenix. For tonight, I would probably say to just like go to bed because if you're tired, that's especially playing a brass instrument. If you're tired and you're still trying to actually get through and actually have the correct embouchure and the correct everything when you're trying to produce the notes, especially if you're playing a high brass instrument or even like a really low into the brass section, then doing that tired to where you could potentially hurt yourself or anything, or just like not consistently get and be as precise as you need to be, especially if there's staccato or runs or slurs or anything in the music itself. I would probably just go to bed, relook at the music in the morning, like I said, go to the mock audition, do a run through with it. It's probably going to be rough. That's okay. And then the next few days leading into the audition for the next week and a half, just be hammering the audition piece for at least like a few hours each day. And then eventually, like I said, once you get so bored of it, you know exactly how it's supposed to feel, how it's supposed to go. Once you get bored of it, just keep going because you'll think you'll know it, but until you can essentially like play the piece without looking at it maybe like two times in a row, then I would just really hammer it home because you're only going to get nervous if you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And if you play and work on the piece so much and for so many hours that you're just like, I'm absolutely sick and hate this thing, you're probably not going to feel nervous when you go to the audition. You'll have like pre audition jitters because it's an audition, but you probably won't feel nervous to actually play the piece because as soon as you start, muscle memory is just going to take over and then you're just good to go. So that's what I would say. That's what I would say, dude. Go to bed and go to bed tonight and then just have at it again in the morning and get through the mock audition. Let's see. Vinter, am I doing well? Yes, sir, I'm doing great. We're here, we're having a grand old time, and we're all just hanging out. It's a great time. Let's see. Hold on. Brawl, I really like a girl in my office. We were best friends and I had feelings for her. She just told me she just got a BF. I started ignoring her and maintaining distance with her. Am I doing it right? Dude, I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask about that. I'm single too, so I am probably not the guy. I'm probably not the guy to ask. I would say you're still friends with my like random talk from guy on the random internet is like you're still friends with her, so still be friends with her, but just like she has a boyfriend, so don't try and like do anything. Just be normal. Talk to your friend like you would normally talk to your friend, and just interact like normal. Don't completely just like shut her out and ignore her. That's just mean. But just like have fun. Have fun. You're at work anyway, so it's like, dude. you're at work. If a friendship happens, great. You have a friend. Just don't ruin it. Em, I look tired today. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm good, Em. Speaking of Em, I'm glad you're here because you need to explain something. What in the world did you mean when you made your comment that I look like you didn't realize I look like a 70s singer? Like, who were you referring to? Because I saw that when I got home from the gym before I did this. And I was just like, what does that mean? And so I was hoping you would be here so that way I could get my answer. So please, explain. Jana, hello. From Sri Lanka. Where am I from? That's cool that you're from Sri Lanka. That's awesome. I'm from the US, Jana. That's really cool. That's really cool that you're all the way in Sri Lanka. And I will say thank you for being here because I was curious, so I clicked go to your channel and I see that you are much further ahead of me in terms of like being a bigger channel. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Tugs, hello. Alexander, Turner grip rips like toilet paper and my Wilson overgrip just lasts way longer, so I'm definitely going to try the Yonex grip next time. Turn is cheap because it rips apart. Am I supposed to change it weekly? Grips are more subjective, Alexander. I have one friend that uses Turner grip. He probably doesn't change his grip more than like once a month, maybe. But yeah, it's just based off what you feel and like how you feel holding on to the actual handle itself. I had one friend in high school. He would get a brand new grip like before every single match. So it's just all personal preference. Let's see. Phoenix, yeah, and genuinely, if you want to hear the piece, it's the TMEA 2025-2026 French Horde Etudes. Hold on. Prototype, stop spamming, or else I will just like put you in timeout. TMEA 2025 through 26 French horn Etudes. Cool. I'll potentially look into it. Phoenix. I don't know. I got a list of songs that I have here, so I may be able to get to it. Alexander, well, good night, broskies. Gotta get the fam ready for bed. Good night, Alexander. Hope you have a great night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You're one of the people that's watched my channel the longest, and I just really appreciate you being here, man. It means a lot. And you're just laughing at the fact that I called out your comment. John Lennon. I'll take a Beatle. I will. Okay. Nice. I'll take a Beatle. Chef, have I ever played professional tennis? No, I've never played professionally. I've just played for many years and played at the club level. Prototype, hello. I don't know. Bro, bye y'all. Hi, bye. Hi, bye. I don't know. Nope. Hello. I'm new here to the channel. What's up, man? Thank you for popping by. See, yes, who doesn't want to be him? Uh, I mean, wasn't he the one that got like? Was he the one that was dating Yoko, or like the one that ended up with Yoko? Because he didn't necessarily have that good of an ending. That's not. I if you crazy one. Well, what happened to Lennon and the reason why he's no longer on the earth, that wasn't cool. Like so that's the only like hesitation to be Lennon, but besides that, he was pretty good. Emma, your friend Jenna is arguing with her boyfriend and she watches me. Can you say that can I say that can I say I support one of the sides? Uh I don't know what the argument is, Emma. So, and I don't have any context to it, so I cannot take sides, and I don't know why having some random guy online take a side would make sense in an argument. So I cannot take sides or anything. Phoenix, that's awesome, and it's pronounced like etudes. Thanks for letting me crash your tennis stream, bro. I'm happy to be here. Like I said, the tennis stream is how it normally is what we're normally here to do, but after the tennis talk subsides, we're pretty much just like all hanging out, just having a good time. And the fun thing is, Phoenix, actually I was actually in band as well when I was in middle school and high school. I didn't play French horn. I played saxophone, but yeah, I never had to necessarily do a saxophone audition, but I'm glad I was still able to help out with what the one you're about to go through. Let me know how it goes, dude. You'll have to come back and tell us on another live. I'll be here doing this for at least the rest of the year, so definitely make an appearance if you can. Jonna, have I ever been to your country? The climate here is mild. Your country is very beautiful. I have never been to Sri Lanka. The only time I've ever been outside of the US, I went to the Bahamas because I was playing on my high school had a jazz band, and the jazz band I was in, we were playing on the cruise ship as one of the guests that were entertaining the boat. And so that was the only reason I got to go on the cruise, and so that's the only reason I got my passport, and when the cruise was going to the Bahamas. So that's the only time I've ever left the United States. But I'm sure it is very beautiful. I've just never been anywhere near like that half of the world, Jana. And please tell me if I'm saying that right. I don't want to just be saying that and then I'm mispronouncing it and offending you. I would like to say your name right if I can. Chef Elite, good on you, bro. Imagine all the tennis. Yeah, dude. It would be crazy, dude. I think it'd be fun. I am probably highly underestimating the amount of work it would take to do, but I don't know. It could be fun. Em, you're tired and you're going to bed. See ya. See ya, Em. Thank you for clarifying, and thank you for being here as well. I appreciate it. Let's see. Lou, it's not sunny inside, mate. I know it's not sunny inside. That's why I'm not wearing sunglasses. Nope. How long have I been playing tennis? I've been playing tennis. I've been playing tennis for about almost 10 years. So yeah, I'd say almost about 10 years because I basically started when I was in middle school and just kind of like grew from there, and I've pretty much never stopped playing since then. So yeah, about 10 years, but I've never like sat down and took it like extremely seriously or anything. So yeah, that's about how long I've been playing. Greg, girl, what's up? What's up, Greg? Nope. Am I the only person? Am I the only person that liked watching something like this and chatting? I, Loop, Nope. Sorry, I don't think you're the only one. Just because we've been here for about almost 2 hours now, and we're still going. People are still showing up. So I guess we're doing something right. Dom, the glasses are dope. Thanks, Dom. I appreciate it. Bobby, good afternoon. If you're trying to help me with some bills and court fees, I've been trying to get a job, but it's hard for me. Anything's helps so I get through the month. Bobby, I am not able to help you, sir, because that is not tennis related or anything I am able to help with. You may have to ask other people you know in person. Asim, hello, friend. How are you? Where am I from? I'm doing good, Asim. Please tell me if I'm saying that right or if I'm saying it wrong. If I'm saying it wrong, please tell me how to say it so I can say it correctly. But I'm doing good. It's very, very late where I'm at. It's about to become midnight where I live. But I'm from the US, bro. I'm on Eastern Standard Time here in the US. Phoenix, what instrument did you play in your band? I played alto saxophone. That was my instrument of choice, and I actually still have my saxophone too. It is laying around somewhere, and my sister was actually thinking about starting to learn how to play it, but she hasn't brought that up to me recently. So we'll see if she actually does want to stick to it. But I was a saxophone player, Phoenix. Let's see. Bobby, God bless, brother. Yeah, thank you, sir. Good luck with everything. Vladimir, I look smart. Are you? Depends on what we're talking about, Vlad. There's many things in this world that I do not know about, but if we're talking about tennis gear, then I would say that I am probably a smart person to talk to. Okay, they're trying to hate where I am, so I go to the U.S. Would you go if they gaslight you into it? What? I don't know. I'm so confused, okay? That doesn't make sense to me. Nope. Your time is midnight? Oh. Nope, where are you from? We're in the same time zone, man. Where are you at? Thailand? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Nope, I think if I looked correctly, you should be 12 p.m. cuz I'm 12 a.m. And Thailand, it said, is 12 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. So I think you're at noon. I'm at midnight. If the internet told me correct. Vladimir, humbled too, I see. Good for you, brother. Humility with knowledge takes you a long way in life. Well, thanks, Vlad. Let's see. Cotton, you're in 12:02 p.m. Same as Indonesian. Noop. Gotcha. Yeah, Noop. Noop. It just became the 15th for me 3 minutes ago. Like it was a 14 11 20 25. I was on the 14th like 3 minutes ago because I just crossed midnight. Zachariah, I do not know anything about that. Rick, have I tried or seen people using ultra slick strings as a cross string with natural gut mains? If you have, does it increase snapback enough to increase the spin? I believe it does. I think I have a friend right now that currently uses natural gut in the mains and Yonex Polytour Pro in his crosses. And now, granted, he's using it in a more, I believe, spin-friendly setup. Well, like spin-friendly racket. But I do believe it does increase some of the snapback, and it does increase some of the spin you would get from the natural gut. I would probably say if you want the most, I would probably have the natural gut in the cross and the polyester in the main. But if you want to try the super slick cross polyester and the super slick polyester in the cross with the natural gut in the mains, as long as you're okay with paying for that, by all means, go ahead and try it, Rick. But I think if you do try it, you'll probably notice an increase in spin. It would just depend on like how long it's going to take you to break that then, because the increase in spin is going to be harder on the strings itself. Justin, what's up? How are you, bro? Okay, yeah, I thought so. Okay. All right, cool. It's been 15, 12 hours ago. Okay, yeah, so you are 12 hours ahead of me then, Noop. Okay. Doghouse, what's up? Hello, how are we doing? Phoenix, I'm gonna go now. Have a great night. Make sure you get some sleep too. Yeah. Phoenix, I'm probably right behind you here soon. Like I said, it is midnight where I am at, and I do have to work in the morning. And Justin, this will answer your question. I've been live for about a little over 2 hours, so I'm probably gonna call it here soon. So if anyone has any last minute tennis gear related questions, please answer them. Please drop them in the chat now. Noop, probably not too much longer, but I will be back tomorrow, so that way we can continue this conversation. But yeah, if anyone has any last minute questions, Lupita, welcome back. I'm sorry you're coming back right as we're about to end, but if anyone's got any last minute questions about tennis gear related stuff before we head out of here, please by all means drop them in the chat now, or forever hold your typing until I see you again the next time you make it to one of the live streams. So with that being said, I will give it another like 2 minutes or so, and after that, we'll be out of here. Sweet. Phoenix, I can't wait to hear about it. Justin, what about life conundrum questions? We need your guidance. Justin, you'd be surprised. There were actually a few of those that were asked about and talked about today. So it is something, but next time. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, bro. Let's see. Justin, have a good night. Stay safe. You too, Justin. Stay safe. Have a good night. Kenta TF40 underrated. I personally think so. I really liked the TF40s when I played with them, and so if I think that more people would like them, but it's a very specific type of player that will like the TF40. However, if they were to try it, I think they would absolutely adore it. But the TF40, I personally believe, very underrated in terms of just like rackets overall. Nope. I was thinking about staying here for like staying longer because I got a lot of time to watch you live. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You may be at noon, but like I said, I'm at midnight, and I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go to bed so I can go to work in the morning. But yeah, that's it. That's it, bro. NK NKUTA. I'm scary. I'm sorry. I'm just me, dude. I'm just a guy. Sorry, Philip. People are allowed to have people are allowed to have their own beliefs, and I don't talk about them just because they are much more. They're all personalized, so I just try and avoid the subject as much as possible. Nope. Kenta, am I at my apartment? Interesting space. I am in my room, Kenta. I'll say that. Let's see. NKU. I'm stoned as well, mate. Bro, that's crazy. Allie just since the guy. Bro, my dude, your tennis and racket brain is a Wikipedia on steroids. Well, thanks, Allie. I appreciate that. Cotton, good night. I'm off for lunch. Well, have a great lunch. As you all know, I will be jumping into that bed over there and getting ready and going to sleep when we're done here. Kenta, is it just me or the ASICS FF speeds are tight? Yeah, no, it's not just you. Those things are tight. They are narrow, narrow, narrow. R. Simons, is there really a difference with colors on the same string? I think it depends more on like what string you're talking about. I've heard that color does make a difference. I personally I think I've only felt like a difference once or twice, but I'm not actively testing different colored strings against each other. I have one friend, she plays with Luxilon ALU Power, and different she uses different colors of ALU Power because she wants her rackets to match and look nice. So I was like, girl, that's crazy. But she hasn't really noticed a difference or anything. So I think it can be sometimes a placebo, but I would have to have them side by side in order for me to actually give a full and correct answer for you, Simmons or Simons. So I've heard it can happen. I personally haven't played too much with it. I think I've experienced it once or twice, but I'd have to like have two strings side by side in the exact same racket for it to make a complete difference, or like for me to be able to tell a complete difference. That's what I would say. Smokey, do I take requests? Do some Weird Al. I will not be doing Weird Al because I'm not getting copyright strike. Do not need to lose my channel, bro. Risonen? I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Hello, Jessica. Good morning. Well, good morning for you. Good night from me. It is past midnight where I'm at. X1 biphase is what I'm talking about, to try with red instead of natural color. I mean, with biphase, I think the big thing with that, because the red technically is an extra coating on the biphase, the red might be a little bit stiffer, so it might be a little bit harder on the arm, whereas the natural biphase, since it doesn't have the extra coating on it, it is probably going to be a little bit easier on your arm. So if you're wanting the biphase to be what biphase is supposed to do and just be easier on you, I'd probably go with the natural. If you don't really care as much and you want the string to kind of last and be slightly more durable, just because there's the extra coating being red, then I would probably lean towards the red one. But for the most part, they're still going to play very, very similar. It's just going to be like probably small, minute details. Let's see. Kenta, tried any toy line strings and think it's overhyped marketing, or are they really power/spin strings that are unique? Kenta, I have not tried enough. I have not tried any Tourline strings enough to fully say anything like that. I will say, however, that the fact that of how much popularity they are gaining, I think that is a very good sign in terms of they are actually doing something good and with the strings that they are producing. But I personally have not played with enough of them for long enough to actually be able to say anything about it concrete. I do actually have a pack of Tourline right here that I will be putting into one of my rackets, so that way I can actually give an answer to that question. But for right now, I can't really say too much. You're looking at my hairline. I'm not wearing a hat this time. Krestic, bro, 1, Alcaraz tomorrow, 2-0. Are you asking if I think Alcaraz will win 2-0 tomorrow? Because I have no clue. Felix is, if he's playing Felix, Felix has been playing well, but I'm not sure, dude. Simmons, fair enough. Thank you, man. Enjoy the channel as I'm 1 year into tennis. Of course, bro. If you have any more questions, please jump into another one of the live streams. I'll be doing at least one for 30 minutes every day for the rest of the year. So if you have any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them there. Just come on back, hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss out. And yeah, man, I'll be happy to help. I'll be happy to help out. Kenta, good night, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. Krestic, where can I buy those glasses? I got these off Amazon, Krestic. If you type in THL Sleep on Amazon, and you type in blue light blocking glasses, these should be the first things that pop up. And that's exactly where I got my pair. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce the very first part of your name, but one, hello. Yeah, I'll write it. I'll put it in the chat, Krestic. So THL Sleep, that's the brand. And then blue light blocking glasses is just like specifying what these are. So if you type that into Amazon, that is how I was able to purchase this pair. Yeah. All right. You am Sabel from Saudi Arabia. Well, Sabel, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. All right. Gene, your question will be the last question that I answer, and then I'm going to bed. Let's see. Gene, what changes can you make in order to improve or impact your game, racket, strings, etc.? You can change pretty much everything, and that will impact your game. So like the type of racket that you use, that can change because there's pretty much power, spin, and control rackets. So they're all designed to help you with something different. It just depends on what you feel like you need help with the most. And then strings, there's a bunch of different types of strings, so that way you can just see what will actually uh what will actually work best for you, because making a combination of, say, like a power racket and a control string, that usually works, or a spin racket with a string that's designed to give you more spin, that usually works. Sometimes you can do a power string and a power racket and you can sometimes make it work. It just depends. Like, changing up your gear is one of those things where you have the most control over it, and it's going to be very easy to do, but also very hard to do because it requires quite a bit of testing if you really want to fine tune and hone in on what is going to work best for you, Gene. Yeah. All right. Like I said, Gene's was the last question. I'm going to bed. Thanks. I appreciate your channel. Of course, Gene. If you have any more questions, hopefully next time I'm doing a live, you can pop in and it's not right when I'm about to leave. But yeah, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. PYCCKO. I'm sorry, I don't know what language you're speaking. So I don't know how to answer any of that. Nope, I thought you were going. Yes, I'm going now. I had one last question to get through, Noop, but yeah, I'm done. We can all go back to our normally scheduled lives now. The internet man is going to bed, and then he'll be back again technically now much later today because it's midnight for me, but yeah, I'll be back. We'll do this again. Kresik, she's speaking in Russian. Thank you. I would have not. I had no clue, and I also don't speak Russian, so I'm sorry. I don't know how to talk to you. My bad. All right, cool. That's it. That's all from me. So thank you to everyone that has been here and that is still here. I appreciate it very much. If you liked it, or like I said, I'll be doing another live here again later today, much later, after I sleep, go to work, and do whatever. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you at another one. I'll be doing them for the rest of the year. And yeah, as always, take care.